God, peanut. I thought I'd do a video today on my coming out story as like bisexual, because I don't think I've made a video about it. Hey, don't piss my bed. Sorry, I had to put her downstairs. I thought I'd give the story of like my coming out as bisexual, why I haven't really had any girlfriends, that sort of thing. Well, I kind of knew from when I was a kid, I was a bit of like a weird, do you know when you just like don't fit in, you feel like a freak? In primary school I just felt a bit off, like there was something wrong with me, if you know what I mean. And then when people started liking boys, I was just became boy obsessed. I was like, oh my god, I have to have a boyfriend, otherwise I have no value or worth. So that started from when I was like 12. And then when I got to 13, I was in an all-girls Catholic school. I knew then that I started fancying girls and obviously started hitting puberty. And like your hormones are literally out of whack and you're like, fuck, I can't tell if I'm just like immensely horny or actually I'm attracted to this person. So anyway, so I had a friend who I'd have sleepovers with and we'd practice kissing. And then I started to realize that I wanted to do it more and more. I wanted to text her all the time and be like, here, do you want to have a sleepover and practice kissing again? And then I thought, you know what, maybe that's because I'm gay out of my head. I don't know if I'm actually practicing kissing for boys or if I'm just, you know, gay out of my head. So anyway, I went through a really bad depressive state when I was like 13, 14, where I didn't want to go to school. I felt like a sex obsessed pervert, basically. Yeah, so I have an overwhelming amount of shame and guilt around my sexuality. So I never wanted to go into school, especially because I was in an all-girls Catholic school. I kind of felt like if I talked about how I felt, everyone would think that I fancied them. So eventually my mom kept having to like pick me up from school early because I was having like panic attacks and stuff. I remember she said to me once, she was like, you're gonna have to tell me what's wrong or I'm not picking you up from school anymore, like what the fuck's going on? And I started crying and I was like, I think I'm in love with a girl. Anyway, the way she reacted was like, that's a phase. So she really completely like brushed it off. God bless my mom, like she's the most liberal woman ever. Like she literally wants me to have a girlfriend now, if you know what I mean. But just at that time, because like you're 14 and confused, she was like, that's nothing. Like in her eyes, I was like, oh, literally calm down. I thought you're getting death threats or something. So yeah, she was like, oh, it's just a phase, I wouldn't worry about it. So then eventually, I think around 14, 15, then we all started drinking. So when you start drinking alcohol, I don't know if this is like a normal thing, but anyway, especially in my group and kind of Dublin area, girls would just kiss each other when they were really drunk. I don't know if it was like an entertainment sort of purposes or just like because everyone was drunk and they were like, young, wild and free, you know. Then eventually, yeah, girls started kissing each other on nights out and stuff, but then wouldn't want a relation, you know, wouldn't want anything after that. And then I started liking this girl. This is a different girl from the sleepover thing, by the way. I started liking this girl, but thank God she actually liked me back, so it worked out well. And eventually we're kind of in a relationship, we're like kind of seeing each other, but she wasn't really out. And then it got to the stage where it was like the most intense, chaotic, tumultuous relationship I've ever been in to this day. I don't know if it was because we were both extremely mentally ill and then also like had no sort of healthy relationship to base it off of, because obviously there isn't a huge representation of lesbian couples in the mass media other than lesbian porn. So I suppose to the way I was seeing it, to the way I perceived lesbianism or a girl being gay was just totally sexual and nothing else. And then when there were emotions involved, I kind of didn't know how to react. So we were both, it was so intense, like literally we were almost, you know, how could I use an anecdote without explaining exactly what we were like? We would literally carve each other's names into each other's skin. Not literally, but I'm saying like that's the kind of stuff that we would have done. And constantly cheating on each other. It was always a case of like one person always loved each other way more than the other. So we were like constantly like not talking and getting back together. I don't even know if she remembers this. She probably does. It went on for about a year, I think. And I was like in love with her for 6 months, but she didn't love me back. And then for the next 6 months, she was in love with me and I didn't love her back because I started like sucking dick and stuff. Anyway, I had the like craziest relationship ever. I was always like kissing people in front of her, trying to make her jealous and like test her, and it was just so bizarre. So then eventually after that I got a boyfriend and I kind of just like never indulged in my gayness after that, I suppose. I don't know, wouldn't know how to describe it, but I'd say that is the most intensely I've ever felt for someone in my life. But I think it could have been just because I was really young, so I'm not sure if like the passion came with being naive and innocent or if it's because I'm actually more leaning towards gay. So after that I had a full run of like just being with men, only having boyfriends, but like the odd time would imagine girls when I was having sex. I feel like this video is just me. At the end I'm gonna be like, maybe I am just gay. After that crazy experience of like having a girlfriend constantly cheating in front of each other and stuff, it was just the most chaotic thing ever. I had a full run of just having boyfriends, like kind of not really as in love with boys as much as I would have been in the first relationship, if you know what I mean. And I am a passionate person anyway, so I would love really deeply. I never had a moment where I could have like brought my girlfriend home and introduced her to the family. I would still feel, even as a 23-year-old, my whole family would be so accepting of that and stuff, but for some reason I would just feel so uncomfortable announcing that to the family. And I remember after telling my mom that I might be gay when I was 14, I was visiting my granny, and then one of my uncles like gave me a lift into town, and he was like, oh, I heard you're gay now. And I remember being so mad at my mom and thinking like my whole extended family thinks I'm a fucking freak now. Obviously I have no negative connotations connected with being gay, but that's like my own internalized homophobia and biphobia, where I feel uncomfortable like even talking about it with my extended family, because for fear of them just thinking I'm promiscuous or a sex freak rather than actually just like loving every gender. So yeah, then I had a full run of just men, and then anytime I went through a breakup, it was kind of like, I don't know if it was me trying to rebel or like having my sexual awakening or actually trying to satisfy myself, but anytime I went through a breakup I would like be strictly women. So I remember after my first breakup I was just like only seeing girls really, and then I got with another boyfriend, and then after him, this is the thing I think would kind of put me off girls for some reason. I don't know what the story was, but anyway, after my second boyfriend, I remember I was texting this girl on Snapchat. She was gay, so I was like, oh, this is grand for me. And then she drunk texted me one night being like, oh, where are you? I ended up going back to her house because she was like, oh, I'm having an after session. Went back to hers, we ended up having sex.
I would also like to add, this girl was not having an after session. As a matter of fact, we were the only people in the house. Her roommate was sick at the time. She shared a room. We had sex while her roommate was asleep, like sick with a fever.
And then in the morning, she FaceTimed her ex-girlfriend and like turned over the phone to show me, to like use me as a prop to be like, oh, look who I had sex with. So then I was kind of scarred after that. Yeah, it was a bit scary, terrifying. I remember I was working in Urban Outfitters at the time, and it was our Christmas party the night before, and I went in that morning and everyone's like, where did you go last night? And I was like, well, I actually have sex with this random girl that I was texting on Snapchat, and she FaceTimed her ex-girlfriend in the morning. I'm pretty sure that girl like got back with her girlfriend then after that. So yeah, felt very used, to say the least. Then I kind of went off girls again, got with my next boyfriend, which is my most recent ex, and then after that again, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to be girls. The issue with it was I was like texting girls over the summer, but I have like a fear, it's obviously my internalized biphobia as well. If I talk to bi girls, I always feel like a freak, like they're not actually attracted to women. They might just be saying that they're bisexual but not actually. That's probably like the most offensive thing ever to say, to not believe someone's sexuality. I just have like a internalized fear of people not actually being bi and just saying that to talk to me or something. I don't know, that's so fucked up, but I think after the FaceTiming the girl situation, I was like, sham alive, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to go through this again where I'm just like used as a sex prop. Yeah, I was texting a few girls, and then the only girls I was like attracted to lived in different countries, so that was obviously not really doable. So I find it much harder to find girls to talk to than it is lads, because I think if you're a girl and talking to a boy, it's more straightforward that if you're flirting or not. But if you're talking to a girl, like the way girls talk to each other is so insane. It's literally like, I would murder my whole family to smell your hair, do you know? But like that could be just girls talking to each other as friends. So it's much harder to differentiate when a girl is flirting with you rather than a man, I think personally. So it's harder for me to know. And then I don't know if like girls are complimenting me, and I also would find it weird if I was like romantically texting someone who followed me if I didn't know her beforehand, because I feel like kind of predatory in that way. If I was like, feels like I'd be like grooming her or something. I don't know. I would fuck with a girlfriend, but at the moment I think my internalized biphobia is just like, no, you must stick to the societal norm of having a man in your life who can look after you and you can bring home to the family. I think I'm over it now after this little therapy session. And then another experience I had, this was in London. I don't know if I should say who it is. I went to this kind of like dinner party thing, and there was a lesbian couple there, but I didn't know they were together until we arrived, because I like asked them. But they also thought that me and Emer were together. So me and Emer's a long story, but I won't get into it. We're just friends now. So yeah, I like got way too drunk and had to be put to bed. They only really like went official that night, or like got exclusivity with each other that night, because like we were all talking about it at the table. And then I got so drunk I was like lying down in bed, like kind of in and out of consciousness sort of thing, and one of the girls came in who was in the relationship, like straddled me, and then we were both kissing for ages. And then her girlfriend came in and was like, can I talk to you for a second? Anyway, and then I was like, fuck, I better leave. leave, so I had to leave the dinner party. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they're still together. I'm gonna show you a home record. But like, I would be obsessed with a relationship again where we like wear vials of each other's blood around each other's necks and give each other stick and pokes of each other's names in the middle of the night on a bathroom floor. Hello? Hey.
What are you talking to?
I'm talking to my camera. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm alone in this, so like anyone else who's bisexual who's had kind of same experiences as me and can somehow snap out of the internalized biphobia, I'd love some tips because yeah, I've been sent this meme like 5 times. It was like, you really like guys and girls and you're still single, you really by yourself. You know that one? So sad. It's actually very upsetting. So if anyone has any tips on how to snap out of it, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's it from me. Amen.